I met them when I was 8, and they were both 10. Back then, they already seemed so tall and strong. It happened right after my parents and I moved to the suburbs and got invited to a neighborhood party.
Alex, this is my son, Logan, and this is his friend, Ryan.
Hey, little guy. Don't worry, we'll look out for you. We spent the whole evening in their treehouse, but it wasn't just a treehouse. It was their headquarters. Whoa, that's a Mustang! Sick! Nah, this one's way cooler. What about you? Which one do you like? I didn't know anything about cars, so I just pointed at the prettiest one on the page. Okay, the color is actually pretty nice. Good choice, Alex. And for some reason, that made me feel good, like I'd passed some kind of secret test. We played video games, argued about who was stronger, and even talked about girls. Well, they talked about girls. I mostly just listened and tried not to ask dumb questions. Then when it got dark, my mom called me home.
Alex, it's time for bed, young lady.
Wait, we thought you were a boy. You're a girl? Yeah? Whatever, who cares? You're gonna be our little bro anyway. Honestly, I like that role more than any other. That's how I grew up beside them. Logan and Ryan taught me how to play basketball, and we watched kung fu movies together. I copied everything they did and looked like some awkward, skinny little boy. It was the happiest time of my life. It felt like it would last forever. But the year I turned 13 and they turned 15, something broke between them. Logan and Ryan started drifting apart and arguing more and more. Logan spent almost all his time at practice and hanging out with the guys from his basketball team. Ryan started a rock band. They practiced in his garage and went to animal rights protests. I sat there alone in the treehouse, hoping things would go back to normal soon, but they didn't. One day, Logan told me he'd gotten into a sports academy.
I'm moving to the city. This is a huge opportunity for me.
And Ryan's parents got divorced, so he was moving to the city with his mom too. There was nothing I could do about it, but I decided I could at least throw Logan and Ryan a goodbye party. I bought a cake, decorated the treehouse with string lights, and waited. But both of them texted me saying they weren't coming. After Ryan and Logan left, my life became quiet. Then this new girl showed up at school. Her name was Rochelle. She'd just moved from France with her parents. She had perfect posture and this regal elegance. Rochelle looked like a goddess, and I never thought she'd even talk to me. But one day, I saw her crying on the playground slide. You okay? Not really. I miss France. I feel so lonely being out here in this American town in the middle of nowhere. She wiped the tears off her long lashes and suddenly smiled. I've got it! You're gonna be my project and my best friend. Sorry, what? My project and my best friend! I pick you. Accept your fate. I shrugged and agreed. I needed somebody, even if that somebody was a little insane. That's how the weirdest makeover of my life began. Rochelle turned me into someone more feminine, but I looked so hopelessly awkward that eventually she gave up. I admit it, my project has officially failed. I wasn't offended though, because somehow, despite everything, we still became best friends. But I never forgot about Ryan and Logan. I even kept up with their socials, though I never messaged them. They never messaged me either. So one day, I just hit unfollow and closed the door on the past. When Rochelle and I turned 16, she invited me to France to visit her grandmother. It was an incredible adventure. But the most important thing happened on the flight back. Halfway through the trip, something went wrong. First, there was a small jolt. Then the plane started shaking like a washing machine going rogue. Oxygen masks dropped from the ceiling. The lights started flickering. Kids were crying. Adults were panicking. Rochelle grabbed my hand. If we survive this, I swear, I'll become a better person. I was terrified too. But that's when I noticed this flight attendant. She was walking down the aisle so confidently and gracefully, helping the passengers, smiling the whole time. Everything's okay. It's just a little turbulence. I looked at her and thought, how? How is she doing this? She was like a superhero, just without the cape. Though, honestly, the uniform suited her even better. Eventually, the turbulence stopped, and the rest of the flight was calm. I'm never flying again. I think I just fell in love. With who? The sky. I want to become a flight attendant. Alex, no way. Flight attendants are super feminine. And you, well, people still mistake you for a boy sometimes. I ignored her. For the first time in my life, I had a dream of my own. I even hung a poster of an airplane across my bed with the words, "Dream Big." A couple of years passed. Rochelle and I were on the final stretch known as senior year. When our college letters arrived, we decided to open them together. Alex, I got in! Congrats! Thanks. What about you? I got in too. Oh, that's weird. That's not exactly the reaction I was hoping for. I mean, I'm just surprised a good college accepted you. There's nothing that special about you. Maybe they felt sorry for you? Or maybe you were only friends with me because you felt sorry for me? After that, she went quiet, trying to find the right words. The silence dragged on. You know what? Your silence is the only answer I need. I left, and Rochelle didn't come after me. That evening, I felt miserable, so I went for a walk. Somehow, my feet carried me straight to our old treehouse. I climbed inside. I stayed there until late at night, remembering how Logan, Ryan, and I used to laugh together, how it felt like it would last forever. I wish I could bring it all back. But as you probably realized by now, life rarely gives you a second chance for free. A week later, something terrible happened. Logan's grandfather passed away. Of course, Logan came back for the funeral, and Ryan came too. We hadn't seen each other in years. They changed a lot. Logan was taller now, broader too. And there was this hardness in his eyes that hadn't been there before. Ryan had gone from a rebellious teenager to a full-on rocker. Seeing each other again was awkward. None of us knew what to say. We just offered our condolences to Logan. A few days after the funeral, the guys decided to stay in town until the end of summer.
Maybe we should hang out, like in the good old days?
Of course, I said yes. We rode our bikes again, joked around, messed with each other. And then I realized that, to them, I was still just their little bro. They didn't see me as a girl at all. Even when I fell and banged up my knee, neither Ryan nor Logan offered to help me.
Don't start crying like some whiny little girl. Hurry up and catch up.
And suddenly, it started to pour. We made it to the treehouse, ditched our bikes, and climbed inside. Ryan and Logan took off their drenched shirts. Meanwhile, I sat there wrapped in a blanket, desperately trying not to look.
Alex, why are you blushing?
It's because I'm cold.
Yeah, right.
I took a deep breath and realized it was finally time for a serious conversation. Why didn't you come to the goodbye party back then?
Man, that was forever ago. Alex, the day before we left, Ryan and I got into a fight.
Over what?
Honestly, I don't even remember anymore. Me neither. We'd just been getting on each other's nerves for a while. We didn't want to see each other, so we decided not to come.
Then why didn't you text me all those years?
After the move, life just got crazy. Training, the academy. I'm trying to make the national team. After I moved, I started a new band. We're hoping to sign our first contract this fall.
So you just don't have time for me?
Hey, don't be so dramatic. Let's just try being friends again. Yeah, agreed. Alex, what do you want to do in the future anyway?
I want to become a flight attendant. They suddenly glanced at each other and burst out laughing.
You? No way! You becoming a flight attendant is like Logan becoming an opera singer. Seriously.
You guys are idiots. We started messing around, having a pillow fight like old times. I tried to hide how much their words actually hurt me. Suddenly, someone shouted my name. I looked down and saw Rochelle standing there in the rain with a guilty face like she'd accidentally destroyed an entire civilization. Hey, don't stand there getting soaked and come up! The second the guys saw Rochelle, it was like somebody flipped a switch. Logan straightened up and puffed out his chest. Ryan smoothed back his hair. Basically, they were trying way too hard to impress her. Rochelle, this is Logan and Ryan. Nice to meet you.
Trust us, the pleasure's ours.
So, what did you want to say? After our fight, I felt horrible. I'm sorry I implied that you don't deserve to go to college. Honestly, I'm really proud of you. It's okay. I never stay mad at you for long anyway. And for a while, everything actually felt normal again. But once the rain stopped, Ryan and Logan immediately offered to walk Rochelle home. Meanwhile, all they said to me was,
You can make it home on your own, right, kiddo?
Yeah, like always. It hurt, because I'd been hiding one really stupid secret. I was in love with Ryan. Had been for a long time, probably since the very first day. I loved the way he looked at the world, the way he was never afraid to be different. To him, I was just his 8-year-old little bro. The first month of summer had passed. The guy started openly competing for Rochelle's attention. Logan bragged that he could make basketball shots with his eyes closed. Ryan wrote a song for her. But first, he asked me to listen to it.
So, what do you think? Will Rochelle like it?
Yeah, it's beautiful. My throat tightened, and tears filled my eyes. Because the song was really beautiful. But it wasn't about me. I didn't want to give up without a fight. So I decided to show Ryan that I was a girl too. That I'd grown up a long time ago. One day, I even put on a dress. Ryan looked me up and down and narrowed his eyes with a smirk.
Alex, you look kind of weird. Just dress normal, bro.
I'm not... Never mind. One day, I was walking toward the treehouse when I heard a girl scream. I ran over and saw Logan and Ryan fighting. Rochelle looked like she was seconds away from crying. Stop! Do you hear me? Stop! I pushed past her and tried to break them up. It was stupid. Really stupid. In the middle of the fight, they didn't even notice me and shoved me aside hard. I fell to the ground. Only then did they stop. But neither of them offered me a hand. Logan glared at me angrily.
Alex, what the hell are you doing?
Then he turned back to Ryan.
Stay away from Rochelle. She already made her choice. Deal with it. Come on, babe.
They left, and I looked over at Ryan. He had a scrape on his face. I offered to clean it up for him, but it was like he couldn't even hear me.
I just remember why Logan and I fought when we were 15. He's always been an arrogant jerk, always acting like he's in charge. And I also remember how much I always hated this stupid town. I'm leaving tomorrow.
I realized this was my last chance, so I ran after him and finally admitted that he'd always been more to me than just a friend. Ryan stared at me for a long time. Then he turned around and walked away without saying a word. And somehow, that hurt even more than if he'd just rejected me outright. Just like that, they disappeared from my life again, without even saying goodbye. In the fall, I left for college. A new city, new people, no chances to start over. Everything moved so fast that I barely had time to think. And honestly, maybe that was for the best. I studied, worked part-time at a veterinary clinic, and prepared for my first airline interview. They asked me to put on a flight attendant uniform and show them what I could do. I knew everything I needed to know, and I was perfect for the job. But at the most important moment, all those awful words from Rochelle, Logan, and Ryan suddenly came rushing back. There's nothing that's special about you. You becoming a flight attendant is like Logan becoming an opera singer. You look kind of weird. And that was it. My confidence completely collapsed. I felt stupid and totally bombed the interview. I gave up and decided not to try again. Instead, I kept working at the vet clinic. Life became stable, quiet, but it also felt off. Then, one day, I got an email invitation to Rochelle and Logan's wedding. I already knew things had worked out for them. Rochelle became a celebrity stylist. Logan made the national team, and Ryan became a famous musician. I didn't want them to know I'd never become a flight attendant, so I decided not to go to the wedding. We hadn't spoken in years, and honestly, I thought the invitation had probably been sent to me by mistake. But a few days later, Rochelle suddenly called me.
Alex, why haven't you RSVP'd yet?
I don't think my presence is really necessary. Are you kidding? Thanks to you, I met my future husband. You're the most important guest. Besides, I have a surprise for you. After hearing that, there was no way I could say no. It felt nice to know Rochelle still remembered me. We met again at the rehearsal dinner, and that's when Rochelle admitted the surprise was Ryan. She'd invited his band to perform at the wedding.
And you didn't even ask me first? I wouldn't have come either if I'd known whose wedding this was.
I stayed quiet and tried not to look at Ryan. I couldn't stop thinking about that painfully awkward moment when I confessed my feelings to him. The three of you went through so much together. Stop acting like children. But the harder Rochelle tried to bring us back together, the further we grew apart. Logan and Ryan got into another fight, and I left without explaining anything to anyone. But the trip wasn't pointless. I suddenly realized one simple thing. I wasn't that little kid waiting to be chosen anymore. I could make my own choices now. And the next day, I went to another interview. And after a while, there I was, standing on a plane in a flight attendant uniform. Confident, strong, ready for anything. It wasn't my first flight. But that day, I had this strange feeling, like something was about to happen. When I checked the business class passenger list, I saw some familiar names. Logan, Rochelle, Ryan. I froze for a second, but tried not to think too much about it. The plane took off. I walked through the rows in business class and caught them staring at me. They recognized me instantly, and for a moment they looked genuinely amazed. But then they looked away and pretended we didn't know each other. Then a storm hit, and we hit some turbulence. Nothing dangerous, stuff like that happens sometimes. But the plane shook hard, the lights flickered, and people started panicking. I literally swore I'd never fly again! And that's when I realized I wasn't that awkward little girl anymore. Now I was the flight attendant people looked at, waiting for reassurance that everything would be okay. I smiled at the passengers and kept doing my job. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated and keep your seatbelts fastened. In that moment, I could feel Logan, Rochelle, and Ryan looking at me with pride and respect. Soon the turbulence passed. The plane landed safely. and I stood by the exit saying goodbye to the passengers. Thank you for flying with us today. Have a wonderful day, sir.
Alex, wow, you were incredible. Seriously, I'm impressed.
I'm really happy you achieved your dream.
Maybe it's not a coincidence that all of us ended up on the same plane. Maybe we should try being friends again?
No. Every time we try to be close, it ends badly. I'm happy we all achieved our dreams, and I'm glad you were once a part of my life. But maybe our paths were always meant to diverge.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Take care of yourself, Alex. They left. But Ryan stayed there, looking at me for a long time, like he wanted to say something and just couldn't. Then he scribbled something on a piece of paper, awkwardly handed it to me, and walked away. Once the cabin was empty, I unfolded it. I'm sorry I didn't see who you really were back then. You were always braver than both of us. I smiled and turned off the cabin lights. I met them when I was 8 years old, but eventually I had to let them go so I could keep growing. Do you think maybe some people are only meant to stay with us for one chapter of our lives?